Il a quitté Montréal et le Québec il y a de cela quelques années, mais ne renonce pas pour autant à son attachement. Il est devenu entre-temps le petit génie de la conception des cocheurs, des wedges. Les meilleurs golfeurs au monde font appel à ses services. En fait, ces bâtons se vendent maintenant à des millions d'exemplaires. Il nous fait plaisir de vous présenter cette semaine au 19e Bob Vokey.
Bob Vokey, Bob, Verdun native, and very few golfers in the province of Quebec really know that you were indeed born in Verdun and that you're probably the mastermind of all these wonderful clubs.
Yeah, it's true. It's funny. I'll never ever forget. I mean, I've been very successful, but I'll never forget where I did come from. I was born in the tenements of Verdun, and I never forget it. I'll never forget my roots. And me and my dad back home in Verdun. My dad at that time was living in Beaconsfield, so we used to dabble in golf clubs all the time and continue. I was a real fanatic. My dad was. So I tried little things, but he worked in a machine shop, so I had all the knowledge about working with my hands, which I'm always very good for all the things working on machines. So when I come to the United States, as I said, I tried to play the mini, so I realized, wait, I got a long way to go. I'm not going to play golf. So I said, I'm going to learn about. So I started to learn about golf clubs. And then from one thing led to another. And I remember I helped in my same old shop in Vista. And that particular time, Gary Adams, a TaylorMade, came into my shop and said, would you like to come and work at Taylor? It was in the very early 80s. Would you like to come to work at TaylorMade? So I said, sure. So I went to work at TaylorMade. And I did keep my shop open, but I went to work at TaylorMade right till the end of 89 and 1990, I went over to Founders Club. Gary left and started another company called Founders Club. So I went there and worked for 5 years, and then last for 5 years, and then from Founders, position opened at Titleist Golf Club Company, and they asked me to come in and work for Titleist, which has been an unbelievable journey for me.
Talking about, and this is, it's unbelievable, 8 million clubs sold.
Did I think they would do that? No, when I started it 15 years ago, I didn't. I started off working on a driver, the 975 driver. And then from drivers, I went to the wedges, and I took all my ideas. I was always a good listener and a note taker. And I took all working with like the Trevinos, the Dave Stockton Sr., Marco Mayers, Lanny Watkinses. I took all his information that I had there.
Bob, there was a time players would carry 1, 2 wedges at the most. Now, a lot of them are carrying 4 wedges.
Definitely.
And I was listening to your lecture. There's a big difference between what they considered the club to be 20 years ago and what it became recently.
Oh, no, definitely. I mean, as I said, what wedges were at that particular time, they were years ago, and go back to, as I said earlier, when I played, we've used the old 9, I call it the R90s, and then we had the Dynapower clubs. They're very heavy. Swing weights were very heavy. But they were like defense clubs, get-out-of-jail clubs. So what happened? Along come the players, the bigger, stronger, hitting the ball further. As a result, they got close to the green, and they realized that wedges are scoring clubs. The perfect wedge exists, but it doesn't exist. Mm-hmm. It's perfect for that particular individual, for your particular swing, the courses that you play yourself more regular and not. It could be very good for that.
As a matter of fact, you're working with the top players in the world.
Yes, definitely.
How would that translate to the regular player, the amateur player that is playing on daily basis?
Exactly.
In the province of Quebec,
yes.
Canada, or in the United States?
I get all my ideas from the best players in the world, and from using the best players, I take those ideas and I take it with input that I get from different parts of the country and also from different players. I call it my club pros. I call it my VIP staff. So I take all that information and I compile it, and I'll do like demo days. I'll bring wedges out to the weekend golfer, the mid to higher handicapper. Get feedback from him how different bounces work at different parts of the country. Then I take that information, coupled with all the different grinds and all the different bounce, call it input that I've received from the tour over the years, and that's how I compile. And I'll make just not one wedge. I may make 4, 5, 6, 10 different type of grinds, and I'll test it all. And the one that actually prefers to be the best, that's the one that we'll end up putting in the line.
One might think that you've seen it all after so many years. What's next for you? What's next for the wedges?
Well, we're continually working on all different materials, different scoreline patterns. And, it's a lot of what we're fortunate. I've always tried to, call it ease of alignment. We've always placed a premium on simplicity and performance. And that's what a wedge does. I just feel there's a lot of guys try different than cavity backs, and I just never seen any advantage over a 50-degree for any kind of cavity back wedge. It's all about performance. Keep it simple, easy to align, hit the shots, get your distance controlled. And because you're not going for distance, you want your spin, you want your trajectory, wedges that can help the trajectory from different types of surface that you're going to hit. As I said, many times earlier, I said, Wedge is the average weekend golfer. He may hit 6, 7 greens. He has a lot of opportunities to get the ball up and down. And if we can give him the proper bounce, loft, and grind combinations, it will help. It'll save him a lot of shots and really enjoy the game a heck of a lot more than he does.
Bob, merci beaucoup.